මෙතන ඉඳලා පැයක් විතර කාලයක් ඉංග්‍රීසි මාධ්‍යයේ සාකච්ඡාවට සතිපතා පවත්වන සාකච්ඡාවට ඉඩ දෙනවා. අපි යනවා ධම්මෝසද ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේට ආරාධනා කරනවා. ඒ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ කටුකැලියාවෙන් කනෙක්ට් වෙනවා. Venerable ධම්මෝසද from කටුකැලියාව.
Asray Bante, that Dhammajiva Bante is already connected. Mic is also on.
Another. So he is not speaking.
Yeah,
No response. No, we'll wait little. Usually we start little late. We can wait.
Okay.
So,
Meanwhile, if anyone... yes, we are waiting for you.
thank you
Hello.
for waiting, Swami Hanse, for just testing out the new connection.
Thank you for joining. We can start.
Hello, Swami Hanse, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. We are joining from Katukulu today. Lovely and clear, Swami Hanse.
Can you
So
start
today,
this?
the two Singaporean monks.
Yeah.
And yes, today we read from Sangyutta Nikaya. We have been reading from this book for a while. And the sutta for today is from Sagata Vagga Sangyutta, Devata Sangyutta, Adhavagga, and the name of the sutta is Nama Sutta. In English, it has been translated as name, Nama Sutta. English, and I believe Venerable Dhammajiva, connected from Nissarana Vanaya, he will read for us the Pali and the Sinhala. Venerable Dhammajiva, please let us know if you're connected.
Yes.
අවසරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
Okay.
නමෝ තස්
Alright,
භගවතු
great. So,
සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස.
yes.
නමෝ තස් භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස් භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. ඉන්සු සබ්බං අනවිභවි හිසමා හියෝන විජ්ජති කිස්සස්ස ඒක ධම්මස්ස සබ්බේව වසමත්ව ගූති නාමං සබ්බව අනවිභවි නාමා හියෝන විජ්ජති නාමස්ස ඒක ධම්මස්ස සබ්බේව වසමත්ව භූති කිමෙක් සියල්ල යටපත් කොට සිටියේද කිමකින් වැඩියෙක් නැද්ද සියල්ලෝම කිනම් ඒක දහමක්හුගේ වසයට ගියාහුද නාමය සියල්ල යටපත් කොට සිටියේය නාමයෙන් වැඩියෙක් නැත සියල්ලෝම නාම සංඛාත එකම දහම්හුගේ වසයට ගියාහුය.
ඇහෙනවද?
ඇහෙනවා ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
මොකක් හරි කියා ඉන්න නැත්නම් අපි දන්නේ සිග්නල් කැඩලාද නතර කරාද ඉවරද කියලා කියන්න ඕන.
අවසානයේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
ඉවරද?
ඉවරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
ඒක කිව්වේ නැත්නම් අපි බලා ඉන්නවා සිග්නල් කැඩලයි කියලා.
එහෙමයි.
මේ ඉවරයි. මේක උත්තරේ. මේක ප්‍රශ්නේ කියලා ඒක ඉවර කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක ඉතින් ඔය ප්‍රසන්ට් එකේ තියෙන වැඩක් තමයි. පොඩ්ඩක් ඒකත් දියුණු කරන්න. Now we're going to the English medium voice from Osada. So,
Asray Bante, the Dhammajiva Bante disconnected actually.
Emanang, we can start in the what is available in the discussion. It is asking everyone what is the single point where everything is come under control, and that the Buddha is telling about the nomenclature or naming or labeling. Whatever the thing on the earth, everything is named. Soon it is named, it is filthy. It is ruined. And but anyway, you can take it under control. So this is a kind of a mantra. If you can call someone by name, he is under control. If you do not know the name, you are hesitating. And then you are waiting. But if you know the name by call by name, everyone can One has to surrender. And therefore, in the mafia organizations and guerrilla organizations, they have given names. Only that name indicates that organization knows he or she. Called by the birth certificate name, they don't respond. So therefore, they are called by coded number, not by a coded name. And this is so powerful. Whenever Mahasi Sayadaw started meditation with naming or labeling. As the rising happens, you label it as rising. As the falling happens, you name it as falling. As far as you can label it, as far as you can name it, rising and falling is under control. So whenever the things go beyond controlling, you start labeling. So this is how naming and labeling came into meditation. And Soler Leris, writing a book on insight and calm meditation and insight meditation, he says the Buddhist pragmatism, meditation, mindfulness went to the West because this naming or labeling that is invented by Mahasi Sayadaw. All the other Burmese traditions hate that. They don't like naming and labeling. They think it is very childish. If you are doing labeling and naming, you are not our meditation, you are belongs to Mahasi. But the Mahasi Sayadaw, knowing this, maybe this particular sutta, he started labeling and naming. And Venerable Jnanarama appreciated it in his 7 stages of purification and Vipassana Jnana. He appreciated this naming, this thing specifically copied from Mahasi Sayadaw. If the Kovida is available, you can put your inputs. Dhamma Kovida.
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ
So, Kovida hamdu innawada Venerable Kovida?
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ දැන් ඇහෙනවා ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
Kovida hamdu innawa, is Venerable Kovida is available.
ඉන්නයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
Sorry, Osada. Naming is wrong. No, he is disconnected. So we can open the discussion and anyone who wish to add into this, so put your interview reports, welcome. No one speaking?
Nancy, we are connected again.
Welcome. So we have started the Singlish version. I gave a little briefing on the English. You can put your inputs. Otherwise, anyone who wish to take this opportunity can open the discussion. Join the open discussion.
Hello, Swami Nohanse.
We don't know where you are disconnected, you are silent. You are not talking.
So we did hear your introduction.
Yes.
And I just wanted to chip in by referencing one thing that I read from Venerable Katukurunde Jnanananda's sermons on Nibbana. And he talks about name of Nama Rupa. And he says that, well, he gives a very practical example of how a yogi can go back to the beginner's mind or just take his mind back to the childlike state so that he can experience Nama in its very basic form so that they don't have to name things and get caught up in the mental concoction and just proliferation, papancha, etc. So Venerable Katukurunde Jnanananda says that suppose you give a child a rubber ball, and the child knows the ball only by its feeling, its the intention it has for the ball. The five factors that make up nama in nama rupa: Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Passo, Manasikaro. The child knows the rubber ball by these factors only. Hello, Bante, can you still hear me?
Yes, you are staggering. You are not continuously speaking. So you have to speed up a little. We can hear clearly. Hello. Hello.
Hello, yes. That explanation by Venerable Katukurunde Nyanananda, I found it to be very helpful for meditators to not get stuck up on the name of things, on the name of experiences, like that example of a child that I just gave. So this child only knows this ball that has been given to him by these five factors of nama, and so they do not get caught up in proliferation and making up stories about it. In other words, the child has not yet been educated. The child is still having that very primordial mind that is in some way very pure. So Venerable Katukurunde Nyanananda says that a yogi should endeavor to bring their mind back to the beginners, to make their mind a beginner's mind, to take their mind back to the childlike state so that they can come out of this confusion of nama rupa.
Yeah, that's a very nice quotation. You efficiently pick up that. This is not in the Tipitaka, but it's a explanation in Venerable Katakurunde. And the Nama is, according to the traditional way, 52 mental concomitants. Out of 52, these 5 that you quoted as considered as always present. Others are present in a circumstantial way. This is called Sabbachitta Sadharana. Any mental form, this is available, these 5. And Venerable Jnanananda specifically mentioned, in the traditional way, Phassa Vedana Sanya Chetana Manasikara. The order of presentation is Phassa, contact is the first. Then only feelings happen. Then Chetana, Phassa Vedana, then Sanya, perception, and then Chetana and Manasikara. But Venerable Sariputta in Sammaditi Sutta, well quoted by Venerable Jnanananda, it says Vedana Sanya Chetana Phassa Manasikara. And it says not that contact is the starting point. That is the scientific world started. But he says Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Phassa Manasikara. Contact happened in the 4th phase. Other 3, forerunners, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana play bigger role. That means directed disposition. That means tendencies, underlying tendencies. So that is how the mind is working, and that is so detailed, explained in our literature, that hardly people know about, because that they are worried about the matter. They are not worried about the naming or mental part. That is what the physics. That is what the communism. That's a materialism. They think that everything is materiality. But the Buddha well ahead, he mentioned everything is corrupted by a name. That corruption Corruption happens. Everyone is. Even for a small child. Even he do not know the proper name, he get corrupted by parents. He get corrupted by the media. He get corrupted by the education. So he is being imposed with nomenclature. We did biology. There the nomenclature is by form model nomenclature came into the plants, and each and every plant is named by two names, and then it is not mixed up with others. But everything is matter. But we know different plants are highly valuable, different plants are not valuable. A lot of things accordingly named in nomenclature. So therefore one has to understand, we being human, we are being given a name. When we are getting ordained, our name is being changed. But we find very difficult to adopt into that new name. So the name is the most controlling power. People are highly carried away. Akheya sanjino satta, akheyasmin patittita, akheyasmin aparinyatang, yogamayanti machuno. Samiti Sutta, the Buddha says, all the people are carried away and get doped, get amused by already expressed things, already presented ideas. Akheyasmin patittita. Those who have presented by name and picture and kind of thing, they don't know this is a mind made. They don't know that I am a follower of an already prepared name. So much so we are under the command of the Mara. No one happy to give a new name, because then he will get confused and cornered. When the Buddha invented the Nibbana, there was no name. It's the absence of everything. So therefore very difficult to pinpoint. No example. No foundation, no pinning point. So that is why the Buddhists lost the Nibbana in their religion. With the religions I am not going to talk. So therefore, thank you very much for opening these 5 factors. Vedana, Passa Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Manasikara, or in different orders, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Passa, Manasikara is a very good, lucrative subject for the open discussion. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, Vanaya, thank you for that exposition. Those 5 factors.
Asray Bante, there's one more device working, I suppose. I think that's why the echo is coming. If you can make it that muted, I think the other device. Amin just reconnecting.
Now I can hear. There was a little disturbance. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Asay Sami, we can hear you. I just had a question for us meditators. How is it that we can how can we practice so that we are able to always go back to that beginner's mind, so that we are not always carried away by this process of nama and rupa, always naming things, always wanting to make something out of our experience. We see a sign during meditation and we hold on to that sign and we try to find some kind of meaning. How is it that us meditators, we can always make sure that we are always
In
with that
meditation, vipassana, huh? Hello. In a vipassana meditation, always we take materiality as the subject of, it's an object of meditation. Rupa karma sthana. Many people wish to take Nama Dharma or name, so it is confusive. So that is why you have to take a material object, and naming of that particular object as and when it arises is the beginning of mindfulness. So that is what we call beginner's mind. We call by the child name, call by name. That's why we call in breath, out breath, left, right. So this is the way one can start. I think it is very, very simple. Everyone knows, for my understanding. That is the short answer. Hello. Hello. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, Swamin Wahanse.
Please respond quickly. Otherwise, we don't know whether the line is disconnected. You have to say yes.
Yes, Bante, apologies. We are having
Okay.
a lot of technical difficulties with connection and the signal today.
Keep on talking. Keep on talking. That's all. That's the way we can keep the Zoom meeting on. So it is open for anyone to join the meeting now. Hello.
Asray Bante, Bante Shivali wants to speak to. He has indicated.
Yeah.
I will just allow.
අවසරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ. After I start the practice in under your guidance in Nissarana Vanaya, I was heard some parts of the brain which are called prefrontal cortex and hippocampus and this amygdala and some other names. And yeah, last week when I was going through some reading about mindful practice and this brain functioning, I was happened to find this word, one of the part of the brain. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing this word correct or incorrect, but somehow I try it, Bante. It is called corpus callosum, and the function of it is it is a remarkable structure in the brain, and it is largest bundle of nerve fibers, within brackets white matters that connects the left and right hemisphere of the brain. It acts as a communication bridge, allowing both sides of the brain to share information and coordinate functions. And and the connection between this and mindfulness is that when there is deeper connection, fascinating connection between the corpus callosum and mindfulness practice, both of neuroscientific and spiritual point of view. Let's science when I go further, I found that this is when you practice, when it's strengthening the interhemispheric communication, and there are some points that I have found that the corpus callosum allows the left and right hemispheres to share information smoothly, and this there are some few points as well, but I don't take much time. I don't know whether you Bante have heard this about this thing, and I took the chance to presenting this to the discussion, Bante. That's it, Bante. Thank you for the chance that gave me.
But this is all nomenclature. That's a naming. The brain is considered as a one unit in a system approach, and in the part and partial, different areas named the amygdala, left hemisphere, right hemisphere, corpus callosum. All these are labeled. They think it is cut and dry pieces, but they agree that we are just stepping into the subject. We don't know, and we have given these names, and different countries given different names because after the Second World War, people happened to open the brain because the soldiers came with different brain damages, and marvelous thing happens. So after the Second World War, there's no neuroscience development. Everything breakthrough happened through this massacring of the human brain and different kind of damages. And they think, for the same name and naming, it is for visual guiders. They found only one. If that is damaged, you can't see. But after the World War II, they found when the one place is damaged, deroot happened. There are some other places can adapt into the visual function. There are 14 places they present in the present understanding, and that is how these places we understand as the special function of the hippocampus or amygdala, but they are not unified. The nomenclature make you blind. You fix into that, and you are talking with other people and try to give the same configuration, but it won't communicate like the corpus callosum. Left brain and the right brain never talks. When you are awake, we cut off the sleepy mind. When you are asleep, we cut off the open mind, which is concerned about the moral shame and the moral fear. So they are complete two enemies. On the mindfulness only, we sleep mindfully. We open in the mind, we know our sleepy mind is working. Likewise, these contradictions are happening. So brain science also helped in understanding that. And now in Satipasala, Kaushalya and Dr. Dhammika, Dr.
Hi.
And there's a Muslim person also. He also giving talks, and Kandapolarachi. They have very famous in Satipasala, giving talks on these. And what you have mentioned may basically mentioned, but it is advancing very fast. So you have to daily read them and see how the naming is misleading people. Naming think people are people are contented. They know everything like. It's a nonsense. It's a 5 Passa Vedana Sanya Tetana Manasikara. So whenever Jnanananda explained, all these theoreticians basically wrong. Because they are talking about something now immaterial. So how to connect it to the breath? How to connect into the left and the right foot? How to connect into the brushing teeth? How to connect it to the eating meals? How these things are working? Not possible. But the Buddha invented these things much, much earlier, and he gave a complete, comprehensive system, very pragmatic. Otherwise, these nomenclature and the naming according to the sutta, everyone is bogged down in already expressed thing. Akkayasmin patitita. Akkaya sanjino satta. People are completely slaves to the already expressed ideas and names and models. Akkayasmin patitita. Then he take a stand and talk about the others without knowing that is not my original. Akkayasmin patitita, akkayasmin aparinyatang. Without knowing that is not just a name. That's just a mind game. Yoga Mayanti Machuno. It is taken to the Maharaj Avenue. So we must talk and we must use them. Knowing this is second-hand knowledge. This is not the first-hand experience is with your left and the right legs. So without connecting to that, if you're going to take it, as earlier mentioned, you will be drifted away. Venerable Saddhat is mentioned in the singular medium. You will be drifted away by this trend. Present educated world, artificial intelligence, try to mislead the humankind. It is impossible. Because there are some mindful people, So therefore, thanks for opening this avenue. And we have to first understand the sutta, how much we are carried away, how much we are mastered, or how much we are doped by names, by models, by theories. And when people are talking, they feel like their own invention. They don't know, they are not mindful. They don't know, they are not dealing with breath. So we must always try to relate it to our present moment awareness. Thank you.
As Nancy, I also wanted to add that it is usually said that those who are experts in a certain field, actually, they are the ones who know the least about that field. Just for the very fact that they feel that they are experts and they have acquired so much knowledge in a particular subject, that means that they have managed to make so many things up. They have managed to be bogged down with this naming of things, which in reality does not exist.
That means when one becomes a subject matter specialist, he lost in common sense. And those who are lost in common sense, no more humans. They are how to call animals or trained animals. They know how to go along the track design, but they are not open to the present moment. They are not free to the present moment because they don't have common sense. So we have to manage the common sense and specialized knowledge. That is what happens as we become mature. Yes, what you said is correct, but it's not so common in understanding. Very few knows about these specialists.
I'm wondering whether we have any contributions from the Zoom participants, perhaps from our resident.
No, Bhante.
Not even from our resident engineer, Mr. Vimal Dissanayake.
If anyone wish to join, please.
I was hoping today we might get to hear from Mr. Vimal with his many encounters in his profession. He's usually very good with relating what he experiences to the practice and the Dhamma.
Today is flying to. He was talking in the Sinhala medium, but he may be in the airport for the moment. He won't join today.
Right, so I'm going to say, other than that, what we have already shared or discussed, I don't know, perhaps we might look at the next sutta.
If like, or otherwise we can sum up the talk as far as the open invitation, no one is coming, or we can advance to the next sutta.
Asana Bhante, bit civilly indicated again to talk to.
Yeah.
අවසරයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about the Lord Buddha's time, so when the first 5 monks became the first 5 followers or the disciples of Buddha, even though they were there, but after some time, these 2 people coming from somewhere that they have so much of education with Vedas and all, but my point of view is still they had this all the knowledge, but still they had this like earthy life living. So what I was thinking that even I have seen it from you, Lokuswamin Vahansa, and even though you have a lot of knowledge, and even though what I have seen from you that you are so earthy and like you're just being so. Just like being, I saw it within you. So I was thinking that in some ways I have seen so many people, I mean, more than 90% I may say that the people, when they have such a knowledge, they're missing some part of the life, that they are becoming someone and trying to make this kind of a some kind of a weird personalities. They're trying to maintain something. So somehow, what I was thinking when I was thinking about these two people, Kosala and Upatissa, and they became Sariputta and Moggallana, and still they have the huge knowledge of Vedantas and all. And I have seen you in my eyes when I was in Nissarana for last few years. And I think this is coming from mindfulness practice and the Kayanupassana. So when we call the knowledge and the wisdom, I think nothing will happen to the wisdom if nothing will happen to the knowledge if that person is mindfulness or Kayanupassana. It's becoming like a well-balanced bird which has two fed. The bird has two not feathers. It's in Sinhalese we call it. So when both are balanced, I think the birds are perfect. It may say perfectly imperfect, or it is like that. So I'm trying to get some idea about Bante's, about my idea, and get clear about mine more further. Thank you, Bante.
So Sivali has to listen to Sivali. Sivali also is in the same trap. So, but if you are humble and if you are ready to change, what you have to do is, the knowledge is important as far as it is pragmatic. Otherwise you are hurrying. Too much of hurrying, you will taken away by the wind or the wind current or the water current. Or otherwise, you can slimy and sleepy and not studying, not meditating and not doing anything. You thinking that you are perfect. You can be like that. So Sivali has to listen to the Sivali, and you also have the same mistake. If you can understand, today you express yourself. That's the exactly thing you have to listen. And try to adjust yourself. Be pragmatic and make the life more pragmatic. All the people, they have enough theory knowledge. It is not the limiting factor. Limiting factor is you don't know how to put into practice, or how to hurrying or not hurrying, not tarrying, how to cross the currents. So this is very good for people, those who are showing us experience by or explaining, because everyone is having that kind of a capacity to learn, and we are on the process of learning. And that I observe, that I appreciate, and therefore, please, Sivali may listen to Sivali.
Thank you for that comment, Venerable Sivali. We will also listen to Venerable Sivali.
Bante, I was muted, so I was trying to talking to you. I worshipping you, Bante, and I am still practicing here. And every day I waking up early in the morning and do my practice. And I
You are not
always
talking about your practice. You are talking about theories. So that indicates who you are. So you have to listen to your own voice and talk only about practice, specifically in your life. Whenever you are going to talk about theories, you are adding negative marks. That is my sincere observation. It may be scorchy, it may be bitter, but can't help.
Avasarai.
Avasarai.
Ajay Swamin Wahanse, something I find very interesting about the practice of mindfulness is the basic instructions that we receive is that while we continue living our life, we see things, but we pretend that we have not seen them. We hear things, but we pretend we have not heard them. So basically, we are blind or deaf, and really, in every sense, we are just like a corpse. We perceive things, we feel things, but I think this practice that we are all doing, especially in Nissarana Vanaya, how the practice has been handed down by our teachers, even our present teachers, I think it's quite fortunate that this practice aligns with, for example, the sutta that we have read today, and how the Buddha is advising about naming things. Because the practice of mindfulness that we do is that when things come into contact with us, when external phenomena come into contact with our internal sense basis, we don't react, we don't build up further, we don't get acquisitions based on account of that contact. So when we see things, we just try our best. We use the theory that we know to let it be only seeing, that things have just been seen. Or when we hear things, we use the knowledge and the theory we have, we apply it so that the things that we have heard only remain at hearing and not anything further than that. So I think we are very fortunate to have come into this practice from the teachers who came before us, and they are teaching us how to practice according to the Buddha's word. Venerable Katukurunde Nyanananda, Venerable Nyana Rama, all those teachers. So I just, I don't know, I just felt I should express that gratitude to our teachers.
Yeah, as far as you are uh, uh, mentioning in the early part of your presentation, that we pretend as to be not to do what to do, well, even though you are hearing, as if you are not hearing. Even you see, you are not seeing like. But simply put, some extreme Mahayanis, they say, you are already enlightened. You are pretend to be not enlightened, because outside world is everywhere always feeding you. You are a commoner. I am a commoner, you are a commoner, so we are accustomed to that. Otherwise, you are born enlightened. The day you become enlightened, you get nothing. You lose nothing. Because you are already there. But the only thing is you don't have faith. You don't have faith upon yourself. Leave aside the faith upon the Buddha. So therefore, the day you practice more practical, pragmatic, you believe yourself. You believe present moment and here. So that is enlightened. So therefore, always keep the mindfulness intact under your very nose. And we are already endowed with that. We need no any special, facilities or any other lacking things. So therefore, in a discussion, we always be on the ball, ride the wave. And then, in the time of present moment awareness, so then enlightenment is not far away. So that is how we have to advise others, we have to share with others, we have to catalyze or be diligent with our mind. For that, we have full potential. Nothing to worry. Thank you for the point.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, so I'm Nancy, if there are no further comments or questions.
It's almost time up now.
Yeah.
We can sum up. Still, I invite if I'm wishing, instead of calling me, instead of writing me, I invite to join the meeting and discuss and share with us. If there is no such, we will go for. We will wind up the session. For that, I invite Venerable Oswada.
Awasai Swaminatse. First of all, I would like to thank all the Zoom participants for bearing with us. We are just trying a new setup here in Katukeliawa. So now we have things that we have learned from, and next time we will try to make things a bit more smooth, the connection and everything. All right, well, dear venerables, dear friends from Nissarana Vanaya, joining us on Zoom, having listened and shared the Dhamma, whatever merits we have accrued, we would like to extend them to our teachers, our parents, our relatives. May all the deities protect the Buddha's asana, and may all the deities protect the Dhamma exposition for a long time. And may the seeds of Dhamma that we have received grow to produce path, fruition, and Nibbana. I invite everyone to join in the recitation of the traditional Pali verses for the sharing of merits.